Well, welcome back to another episode of In Good Company, where we believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. And today, my barber, my friend, the Brother Bill, is in the studio today. How are you, my friend?
Good. Always good to see you, Mike.
Always. It's good to be able to be face to face instead of you just, cutting my hair. But for those that are Bills fans that are listening to this episode, this is one of those absolutely cannot miss episodes. Dude, where do we even begin? This episode is being recorded the day after the Buffalo Bills just beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The regular season, like the whole deal. For those that don't know your story, or maybe they've seen like a video of yours, they're like, wait a minute, this guy's in Rochester? Like, what's going on? Give us your rundown. Where did you grow up? What's your story? When did you become a Bills fan? Like, just give us the rundown.
Yeah, so I'm from Rochester. I grew up in Greece. Been a Bills fan as long as I can remember. My dad's like a diehard fan. My whole family is. So started going to games when I was 6 years old and just loved them ever since. So yeah, just always been diehard. Growing up around here, I feel like it's pretty common. Maybe not actually, because I feel like a lot of people my age, it was the dog days.
They hopped off the wagon.
A lot of them have come back to the wagon.
Yeah.
But I was a true blue Bills fan all the way through.
Me too, buddy.
Yeah.
I grew up in Northern Virginia, and it was Redskin territory before they became the Commanders. And so for 20 years, literally from middle school through high school, was the drought for me. And people would go, dude, why are you a Bills fan? And I'm like, if I could choose not to be, I would, but leave me alone, So for those that don't know your story, COVID hits and all sporting events basically say no fans, right? And there was this window where I felt like you were able to create this persona of Brother Bill, and you started bringing some of that tailgate type of energy in a digital way. Talk about where the heck did Brother Bill come from, and what is going on in that crazy mind of yours that you're able to express your creativity in this way?
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. It was literally like that COVID year, and we couldn't tailgate, and that was for the longest time as Bills fans. It's like all we had. Like the team was so bad, so like we were, especially at our age, we were raised by like crazy tailgates, awful games. So
JP lost, man.
Yeah. So it was just. I don't know. I've always been kind of this way. Like if I go back to high school and stuff, I used to call myself the Yellow Man. And I'd dress in like a tight yellow spandex suit with like an Athena A on it. And I'd go to the games like that. I would do pep rallies. And like one year you'd get a theme for your pep rally, and we had Halloween, and we came up with this whole idea of like putting me in a casket, and like the whole my whole class Paul buried me into the middle of the auditorium where all the classes were, because you had like a pep rally battle. Like each class had to try to beat each other. And like I just burst out of the casket and was like dancing and got like crowd surfed around like the gymnasium. So like I've always had these like ideas, and for a while I feel like it went away because you get older and you work and you just kind of get into the mundane. And but I have a creative job too, so it's never like I've had to be like a suit and tie guy. So I started the Brother Bill idea like that year, halfway through that year going into COVID, so like 2019-20, and then COVID hits and I'm out of work because you can't cut hair for a while. I was like on and off even for a little bit, so I just had so much free time, and I was missing the games, and we're just getting good. Like we just got Diggs that year. This is first year, and I remember just like I had the page. I was doing kind of like meme things and like small things like that, and then I just had this idea. I think we were playing the Patriots, and I did that whole like wake up on, I think we're on a win streak, and I was like, I tweeted out like until we lose, I'm gonna sleep on a folding table. Like that's how that whole thing started. So I made like a video of me waking up on the folding table. The whole Labatt and the Keurig thing just kind of popped in my head. I was like, oh, that's funny, like because you can't start your day till you have a coffee. That's like the classic saying. So I was like, I can't start my day till I have my like coffee beer. Did that whole thing, and then I think it was real simple. I just went to Wegmans, got like a can of Campbell's like chunky New England chowder or whatever, and I just like opened it and like dumped it down the drain and put the garbage disposal on, did like a thumbs up, and like that was it. And it like took off. I mean, for what my following was, it was a really big post for the time.
Yeah.
And I just kind of kept stacking on top of it, and kept getting more popular, which was like giving me more like getting me more fired up to keep doing it and trying to up myself.
The people need what I have.
Yeah. And then the Pittsburgh one was really the thing that like catapulted me. I feel like when I drove to Pittsburgh just to get a sandwich and like drove right back home.
Bought in.
And then just punted it, and like people lost it over that. And then from that on, it was like, I feel like that was like the real true start of the whole Brother Bill persona.
Dude. And then talk about like going to games after you kind of started, and you would never say this because you're a pretty humble dude, but like I've been to games with you and like you're just tailgating, like minding your own business, and people are like, Brother Bill, like talk about like what has that been like just to like be a recognizable guy at the stadium?
Yeah, it's super fun. It's funny. It's like I don't try to, I don't really think I'm anything different either. So like it's just fun, and I try to keep that like idea of like, hey, if I was on the other side of this, how would I want this person to act towards me? Because I don't view myself like a celebrity or something like that. So and anytime someone yells my name, I try to like run over, dap them up, give them a hug, take a picture, like whatever they want. Like I try to make a point to like get to that person, because it's like I'm nothing different.
Yeah.
And how would I want someone to act if I was like this excited to see them? And I find that really cool, because like it's just like, it's humbling. Like you're just like, damn, like people really like you. And
dude, it's awesome. And for those that don't like buy into the sports hype, or they don't really understand like the true community that can be formed through this, talk a little bit about that too, because you, again, whether you're a Bills fan or not, the Bills have this, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? The Bills have this, you can cut this in the edit because I need to think of this phrase.
Like family?
Reputation. So like the Bills have this reputation of being the city of good neighbors, that Andy Dalton gets us to the playoffs, we give all these donations to him and his foundation, right? Like all these things constantly happen. What has it been like to be a part of this type of community for maybe someone that isn't a fan of a sports team, that doesn't really understand the obsession and the people having anxiety attacks watching games and stuff? What has that community meant for you, and why do you, again, try to kind of pitch to someone that has never been to a game? Like how could you describe what that community has been to you?
It's awesome. Like it's just like so tight knit and close, and like just like it's just been like awesome. It's just like the Bills are such a unifying like force, like truly. Like you know what I mean? You go to games, and this is, I'm kind of gonna go on a ramble now, I feel like, but like the new stadium, it's gonna be cool. But like this old stadium, you are like packed in like sardines. It's not even seats, right? Like half of it is bleachers. So you're like
shoveling out your seat,
squished in there. And I always say this, like that person next to me, I might never see again in my life, but like that 4 hours, we are like family. Like we're hugging, we're high-fiving, we're cheering, we're crying, like we're going through it all together, and we're like right on top of each other. And I love that. Like I'm gonna miss that so much with the new stadium. But that like extends out of the stadium too. That's like, Wegmans on a weekend, and like it's packed to the brim with Bills fans, strangers, just giving a little like go Bills. It just feels good. Like it feels awesome. And I think Brother Bill is like one of the perfect examples of the community it brings, because like I'm reaching out to random businesses or people I don't know to like do like the weirdest things possible at their establishments. Yeah. And like they're down. They immediately, help me, want to help me. They're excited. Like I went to the Wild Wings, which was like a bird sanctuary out in like Pittsford, Mendon. Yeah. Pittsford, Mendon. And like, they got me like a like a real falcon to like do a video with me, and like never talked to them before, never even knew about, I just found out about that business. Like awesome. Help me. And again, I can kind of give back too, because like I have a platform that like I'm not the type of dude who acts like I'm like, I don't try to be like you know what I mean? Like I'm not like, I don't view myself as like an influencer, but like I can kind of return that favor.
You can leverage the platform.
Yeah. Like, hey, I got 18,000 followers on Instagram, 60,000 on Twitter. Like I'm going to make sure to show your business too. And I'm going to make a post about what you guys did for me, because it's awesome. And that type of stuff, like it happens all the time, and people are so willing to help. Like the marching band in the Saints video, like that was like,
it's amazing.
Day before that week, I reached out to my middle school music teacher I haven't spoken to since I was 13, whatever, 31 now. And he goes
like, hey, bro.
Yeah. And he goes like above and beyond to find me this dude with a marching band. And overnight they learn Seven Nation Army and have it memorized. And I go and meet them at this place and they're like gung ho to do it and fire it up. And same thing. Like I'm super pumped to put them out there too and like thank them. And it's just so cool. And that's like what the Bills really are. Like that is like the true blue definition of like why it's so special and why it's so different. Cause it just like brings together so many different like factions of a community to do something and be excited and be happy and work together and all that stuff.
Yeah. No, it's huge, man. I think as human beings, all of us want to be a part of something that's bigger than ourselves. And I think we all live in an ecosystem in life where life is hard and we go through real challenges and real stuff. And then sometimes the Bills add to those challenges and stuff, but for 20 years. But one of the things that I want to hit on is, was there a moment when you felt like, I might have something here? Like, can you remember like a defining moment when you're like, wait a minute, this might be more than just like me being goofy. Like this is kind of turning into something. Was there like a single moment that you can look back on?
There's like two different versions of it. 'Cause there's like the popularity side, which is like you're getting likes and you're getting follows and you're getting, you know, some bigger people retweeting you or following you. So there was the Pittsburgh video again, like that was like the one where I feel like my likes just like took a jump and I got like a ton of followers off it and people started knowing me, even if it was just for like the guy who drove to Pittsburgh and punted the sandwich.
Yeah.
And then there's like the moments where like someone like Ariel Helwani, who's like a MMA like insider who's got millions of followers, like retweets me, follows me, gives me his phone number. Eric Wood, like same thing, like people like that. The shout out I got from Josh Allen on the Kyle Brandt podcast, like that was probably like the mecca of like, oh wow, like this is crazy. And Big Phil,
Josh Allen knows who I am.
like that was crazy. The Big Phil stuff, and it always comes almost like those moments always hit right when you're like really just drained. I feel like Josh Allen one I remember was December. It was like I'm a barber. That's like my busy season. So I'm like cranking, 5.5 days a week, cutting hair and also trying to do all this goofy stuff in the middle. And it's fun, but it's a lot of time and it's exhausting sometimes. I just remember like being like drained that week. And then like the Josh Allen thing happened. I just like, I just got like up here and was able to just finish strong the rest of the season. Big Phil thing too. That kind of fired me up to finish the year because he's shouting me out and talking to me and all that. But then there's like the more like emotional like side of things where you have like this kid Eddie who lives out in Illinois, who was just I think he was 5 or 6 years old. He had a heart disease and like he loves me, right? Like his dad sends me videos. I bought him like a Jim Kelly jersey, sent it to him. Like sends me videos all the time, wishing me happy birthday, like doing a little jokes and stuff like that. And I have little kids who their parents asked me to like make a birthday video for them. And I always kind of try to do like, not just like happy birthday. I did like a whole like wake up on the table and like, I did like the whole like, I can't remember the kid's name now, but he was a huge Brother Bill fan. Just send me videos of him all the time, like fired off about me. And it's his birthday. And I made a video where I was on the table and like the alarm goes off and I like burst out of the blanket. Let's just say his name's like John. I don't think it's definitely not John. But I was like, burst out of the blanket. I'm like, it's John's birthday. And like, just did like a whole like jump through a table for him, blew out candles for him. And he started crying. Like she sent me a video of him watching the video and he's like crying. He's like a 5 or maybe like 7-year-old kid. There's kids who dressed up like me for Halloween and it's just so wild. And that's like when you're like, this is why I do it, and like hopefully these kids like get inspired to do goofy stuff too, because like that's a big part of like something that's missing maybe, creativity, and it's so hard to find these days, I feel like, and with all the things going on and AI and all these weird things, like to just not take yourself serious and just do things you want to do and be goofy and be creative, and
it's huge,
hopefully
man.
that's something that I'm passing on a little bit.
Yeah. Well, dude, I think too, like when you grow up, and you alluded to this when you used the like high school example of you coming in the casket and the whole thing, like I do think when people get to kind of that job, either they go to college or they go right into career, whatever, there is a part of them that dies.
Yeah.
And they call that, well, it's maturity, and I've got to grow up, and I've got to, be professional. Like I remember like shaving my face, going to Men's Warehouse with my dad, he spent $1,000 on like suits, and then I never worked a traditional job, but like I was doing the part. I was, doing that thing. And I just think for someone listening that is creative, and maybe they are in their 30s or maybe they're in their mid 20s and they're kind of having this moment with like, there's got to be more to this than just clocking in, clocking out, coming home, being stressed. What advice would you have to someone that does feel like they have kind of this untapped creativity in today's world with the internet, like the power of, the community that's out there? Any advice for someone that is super creative, that again, they don't maybe want to get famous or whatever, but they just want to do something meaningful with their creativity?
I think you just got to do it. Like I never expected it to blow up. I was just doing it to be funny and kind of pass my own time. I was out of work basically and bored and loved the Bills, and they were good for the first time in 17 years of my life. So it was something that was always a part of me and like true to who I was. And I like being goofy. I like doing these things. And it was something that I kind of, even though my job is very unserious and fun and stuff, something I hadn't like pursued, like, doing like goofy things I would do in high school, but it's been gone for a while. And I just like, let me do it. Like, what's the worst? Like, the worst that's going to happen? Someone's going to laugh at me or not like it. And then I just stop when I'm bored or whatever. Yeah. And so I think that's just it. Like, you just follow what you think you can do. And like, I know it feels like a lot of times, especially with the way the world is and everything, that like you have to be perfect or you have to do, what you're supposed to do. But like, it's not hard to just do it. You don't have to be professional. You don't have to have a super duper camera. You could just do what you want to be doing. Yep. It's really that simple. Dude, I feel like sometimes.
It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's so many excuses and so many things of this is why I can't do something. Right. And you said it. It's like, dude, use your phone. If you're a writer, then write on a piece of paper with a crayon for all I care. But it's like you gotta get out of you like the gifts that God has put in you, because it's not just for you. It's like when a tree grows, the fruit is not meant for the tree to consume. The fruit is meant for other people to consume. And I think that's what you're saying, man. It's like that is the crux of it. We do a part in our podcast called the Fails of the Week. And I got to imagine that there's been some videos or some things where you've like tried to make things happen and then you got to pivot last minute or, whatever happens. Is there like a fail over the Brother Bill journey? It's very easy to see like the highlight reel of Bro Bill, making it. But any funny stories of like, dude, I totally bombed?
There's a lot of times in the making where I'm ruined. Like, this is like an ongoing joke with my wife and me, where like I'm just like, this is it. I'm not funny. Like, I'm ruined. Like, not funny at all. Like, you know what I mean? You get that feeling. I don't know if there's ever been something that I've like totally ruined, because like the whole thing is a goofy joke, really. So it's like hard to really blow it. I feel like. Yeah. But there's things like you picture in your head and you see it so vividly. Yeah. And you just can't get it, maybe. Sure. Or sometimes it's even as simple as like you came up with the idea. Like, I write down my ideas in my phone, and you came up with it so long ago, and you've like thought of it and like read it, and it's not funny to you anymore. Like, it's lost that. And then when you go to film it and you're like, this isn't funny. But like the people seeing it don't know.
That's the first time they've seen it.
Yeah, so it is funny, because I try to always tell myself that. Like, remember what you felt when you first thought of this, because that's like when I get in that groove of just like, this sucks. Like, I suck. Like, I'm ruined. I'm done.
Well,
like,
how do you manage? I've got to imagine like anyone that's in like every week. Like, how do you manage having to feel the constant need to like one up yourself? Yeah. Because bro, there's been videos where I'm like, and I've even seen people comment like, this is the best one ever. Like, you're never gonna, whatever, it's like you've kind of hit that pinnacle. How do you balance like the carefree, this is for fun, with like measuring your performance? Yeah. Like, how do you manage that?
It is hard. Like, it's, I as much as I do have fun and it's goofy, like it definitely does weigh on me sometimes, because it's like you want to do good and you want to keep being funny and you want it to keep hitting, and not even for maybe the likes or anything, but just for like yourself, like you feel like this is what I'm supposed to do and I need to do it to the best of my ability. So it's always there. I just try to tell myself that like, yeah, this is just for fun. Like, you know what I mean? And as long as I get a couple people telling me this is the best one ever, like a week, I know I'm like, at least someone out there, this is hitting. Like,
I'm going to make fake accounts and just go, this is the best one.
Because like, yeah, like you get as long as you get a couple of those, I feel like, you know, like, okay, this person thought that. So like I hit that for somebody at least, which is like what I'm aiming for. Because you always get the haters too. Well, like last week I got, you know what I mean? I did the Chiefs one yesterday and I had probably the most comments in a long time, I feel like, of like, this is my favorite one, this is my favorite one. And then there's like one dude who's like, is it just me or these just getting worse and worse every week? And like,
hater.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, can't please everybody.
Like, I'm happy you're watching it every week.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah. It's funny. One of the most viral videos we ever had for a client was one where there was so many trolls.
Yeah.
Because they're sharing it with people. Look at this idiot. Look at whatever.
Yeah.
But got 13 million views on Instagram. And the client's pumped. They're like, this is great. And I'm like, totally, you know. And again, at the end of the day, it's like, it's attention and it's all good. We talk about how passionate the Bills fan base is. A lot of other teams have equally as passionate fan bases. How much hate do you get on the other side of the game from fans that are like, look at this idiot. The Bills fans just dive through tables. These guys are so drunk and stupid. Like, how do you deal with that?
I think the first few years I just wasn't used to it. So like, it gets to you a little bit that like, obviously I'm joking. Like, I'm not out here like, you know, screaming from the rooftops, like serious about how your team sucks. Like, I'm like doing like the goofiest things possible to make fun of your team and your city. And like, I think it's obvious it's like spoofy and parody. So I remember the first few years getting really bothered by like how mean some people could get or like angry some people can get over like such a silly thing. And then I think it was around the third year where I was just like, I'm just going to like lean into it. And whenever I'd get hate, I would just be like, yeah, like totally. Like I'd either agree with them or like say like good luck today or like good game if we ended up losing and just kind of like killed them with kindness. And it was so funny because people would go from like, this is fucking, oh, can I swear on this?
You're fine.
Okay. People would go from like, this is so stupid, this is awful, to like, I'd be like, oh, good game, dude. Like, hope we get you next time, whatever. And they'll be like, oh, dude, I was just kidding. It was actually pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right away. Like, it's funny how that happens. Yeah. And there's some people who just live to like hate. So like, that's never going to happen. I remember the worst one was some dude from like Boston who like started just like this online beef with me. And I like really wasn't commenting or playing into it at all. And he like, I can't tell if he wanted me to like, he wanted it to be almost like a WWE like fake beef, which like if he reached out to me beforehand and like explained it, I might have been down. I'm not really like a big hate like argue guy anyway, so I don't know if I would have done it, but I would have been like at least like played into it for him, entertaining, if that was his like role or what he thought would help him. Because I've done that with like one of my friends now from the Saints fan base did that, and like he went on it's like fake hater route with me, and I like he DM'd me, told me about it, and I like played into it. Yeah. And now we're boys. So this guy did not do that. He just like started like calling me a loser or whatever, posting all these awful things about me. But then he would be in my DMs and be like, dude, I will fly you out to Boston tomorrow and film this video with me. Like, I literally will pay for your ticket. Like, I'll buy you tickets to the game. Like, it was just so confusing. So I'm like, what is this?
Is he going to kill me?
And I didn't respond to any of his stuff ever. Not his DMs, not his tweets. And he just kept like unraveling more and more. And it got to the point where like he went on his podcast and like found out my like address, my phone number, my real name.
Whoa.
And like doxed me. Like had like, dude, it was Christmas Eve. This had to be 4 years ago. And I had like, I'm not kidding, for 2-3 days, it was like 100 Boston phone numbers calling me, leaving messages about how I'm like don't want to say the words down here, but just like bashing me, like you're a loser. Worse things than that. Dude. Like imagine, that was weird. It ended up stopping. He took down the video. I'm sure he realized like that's actually illegal, because it was the first time I was like, damn, like I might have to. I actually reached out to like one of my lawyer friends and one of my cop clients and stuff, and they're like, this is 100% illegal. Like you could pursue it. I didn't want to, and I'm glad he took it down, because then just kind of let it be. But
you're like, I will take tickets to a game though.
But that was the most wild hating experience.
Wow. So for someone listening that is an introvert, but maybe they are creative and they want to express themselves, how have you been able to kind of get through maybe some of your natural, not that you're an introvert or whatever, but kind of your natural home base?
Yeah.
And how have you been able to get out of the comfort zone a little bit?
I think a lot of it, like in my videos even, I don't really talk much at all. And I think that's a big part because I just like, I don't have that personality. Like if I had to do like dialogue and yell and act as like intense as I can get in the videos through like the actions or the funny things I'm doing, I don't think it would land because I'm just like not able to do that. Like that's just not who I am. I'm very like one like not monotone, but just like a one pace guy. So I think that helps because it's like my ability to just do actions and scenes and like play it out. You would think I'm this like boisterous, crazy dude, and I'm really not.
Bro, it'd be amazing if like the Bills win the Super Bowl, like your final wake up call video, and like you turn to the camera and you say, "We won." It's like there's no like, it is finished. Yeah.
But like, yeah, you can kind of just be. I'm trying to think of how to put this. Let me think for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so you asked me how. Wait, what
like if you're an introvert, but you're able to like express yourself in a way that's outside of that.
Yeah.
Like how do you do that? Like for someone listening that is an introvert, like what advice or, you know, how can they kind of get out of their comfort zone a little bit?
I feel like the most important thing is just like not trying to be something you're not, right? Like if I went to these things, you know, tailgates or I don't know, like events or games or like anywhere I'm like recognized and I tried to be Brother Bill or like what you would expect, like it would feel probably so phony,
right, and
fake and forced, and people probably wouldn't like the vibe as much or me as much because like you can kind of tell. So I think that's just like who I am, and like I embrace that. And I think Brother Bill kind of represents also just like that like super fan in all of us. Like it is like that's in me. Like if you're watching a game with me, I get angry and I get excited and I get fired up and I'll talk some trash to my buddies or whatever. And I think we all like that. Like you go to the stadium and like who you are during that game and what's going on. Like you might be totally like, I'm screaming, I'm yelling. There's not much other places in the world where I ever get like that.
Right.
So I think that is kind of the personality that comes out of you. And that's kind of what Brother Bill is just like that super fan that like is there on Sundays, and then you go and you do your thing and you're a normal person.
Yeah, it's cool.
So it's like that, almost like the Hulk, right? Like it just comes out.
Dude, yeah. I love it, man. I think it's so cool to have seen your journey from the start, from, you know, the good luck Pepsis, and then Pepsi drops off like all these Pepsis at your barber shop, and then you go, I'm not going to drink all these. And so you start giving them away to people. Right. And just like watching how you've been able to take kind of the internet fame and kind of this influencer thing and not let it consume you as the person.
Yeah.
It's been awesome, man, like to just watch it. And I think, you know, one of the things that I'd love you to discuss for those that maybe are kind of in that influencer type trajectory, or maybe there's a business listening that would love to work with influencers. You started getting some brand deals and stuff, and we don't need to go into the details of what the brands are unless you're comfortable with it or whatever. But what has that experience been like, from being, I'm just doing goofy videos over here, to I'm actually making money in some of these avenues? Like, what has that whole process been like?
I think it was definitely like shell shocking at first. And I know we've like discussed it because you like work in this avenue of like social media marketing and all that stuff, and I've gone to you for advice. And because to me it's like some of the numbers they throw out, you're like, oh my god, like, for like, I don't know, I don't take it too serious. It's like me just like messing around, and I'm like, wow, you can do this, is okay. Like for me to accept
charge
this.
more.
Right. But it's cool, and it's like true. I think a lot of the brands are like true to me, like Pepsi I've done, and Labatt, and that's like always been a part of the vibe and what I tweet about and what I do for the games and the wake up videos. It's always been in there. So it's been super easy to just like use those and go with it. There has been some things where like I've done and maybe thought like, I don't know if I'd do that again, right? And that's like part of it. And some of that is maybe like the brand, it's like hard for me to come up with something because it's not something I would normally use or do.
Sure.
Or it could be just like I've worked with some bigger brands that work very, I guess like corporate-y. Like you have to like run every little thing, like write a script and it's got to be perfected and they've got to correct it and revise it and you got deadlines. And I'm like, dude, this is not my life at all. Like in no facet have I ever been in that world, and that like gives me, I'm not a very anxiety ridden person, but it gives me that, and I'm like never gonna do this again. Like I don't care if they're paying well because they're like a big company. Like I just can't see myself going like putting myself through that, especially because I work a full-time job. Like this is my spare time, and if I can do it and I can have fun and I can be goofy and get free reign, which like Labatt gives me complete like free reign.
Great.
They're like, hey, you make make 10 videos, send us something before you post it. Don't be like too you know, you got to be somewhat, there's got to be some confines you work in, but it's like basic stuff, and they just let me go loose and pretty much support everything I do, so it's so easy and fun.
It's great.
So
it's even been interesting to watch the Buffalo Bills account, not that they're copying you or whatever, but it's like you can see a shift that's happening in just normal social media marketing where people are leaning not just to influencers, but they're trying to make their brands look and feel like a human as well. Yeah. And that's what we do in Thomas Media Group side is we are, our mission statement or our positioning statement is brands are dead. We grow your business with content that's as human as you are.
Yeah.
Because ultimately people don't trust big brands anymore. They trust people. And I think even when I watch Bill's videos, it's like the players are coming through the tunnel after the game and they're like big dubs, you know, like they're all like coming up because it's the people side. Yeah. It's the Coach McDermott speech in the back. It's like all the things that have to do with the human beings there. It's not just the static graphics and like the stuff of the past.
I think we crave like real more than ever right now. It's just so much fake, weird
100%
things, and I don't even know. There's so much weird stuff going on in so many ways that like, I feel like real just feels so refreshing when you like go to a restaurant and the owner's chilling there and talking to you, or the waiter's super friendly, or you know, even like I feel like myself at work, like I feel like that is a huge part of what I do, and just building that relationship. I know every client, I know their haircut by heart, I know their kids' birthdays, I know everything about them, and like it's not forced even, like it's easy because we're just building relation. Like that's the most important part. Yeah,
you don't have like a little like notepad like okay, this guy's coming in, like let me make sure his kid's name is yeah you got it. One of the points I want to conclude with before we get into rapid fire hot seat questions, so get ready. There's a portion of what you said that I just think if someone runs a business that's listening to this, when you work with an influencer, please, for the love of God, do not try to micromanage and put a lid on that person's creativity. Yeah. Because the reality is you're the one with the following, not the business. Mm-hmm. So if your followers that have grown an affinity and a liking and a trust to you see content that is outside of what Brother Bill would typically post or what any influencer they partner with would typically post, it's actually doing more damage to the brand than it's doing good, because it feels like a sellout or a buyout type of thing. Yeah. There's a mutual friend of ours, I'm not going to say his name or the business's name, but here's an example of the big business idea. There was a wine company that wanted to do a promo for Wild Card Weekend in the playoffs. I think that happens in like January or so each year. They started this basic Facebook ad graphic in like November. It kept getting not approved. They had to make tweaks. They had to make changes, because there were all these decision makers that were trying to micromanage the creative. And this is a very big brand, okay? They keep going all the way. They're in the divisional round of the playoffs by the time that this Facebook ad gets approved, and they run the ad that all over the ad it says Wild Card Weekend Special.
Oh my God.
So they were a week late for the actual message that they had, because of all the hoops and the things that they had to go through.
That's classic.
Bro, it's just wild, right? And so anyway, I share this story because, again, if you're listening, we are in the human economy right now, man. And I think don't let AI, don't let these other things kind of derail us from, nothing is going to ever change that human being connection is the thing that we all crave. Like that's it. And so I think you're doing a great job, man. Okay, so rapid fire hot seat. Here we go. What is the favorite Bills game that you have ever been to?
There's two that pop up to me right away. It's got to be that Ravens playoff game last year. That was I witnessed my first playoff win the week before the Broncos game, and then went to the Ravens game, and that was just like, I always compare it to like Angels in the outfield. Like everything broke our way, which normally never happens. It was sick. But the original one that I think really got me addicted to the Bills, because I'd gone for a few seasons and I'd only seen losses and they sucked, was the 0-3 home opener against the Patriots when Sam Adams had to pick six and
Lawyer Malloy.
Yeah, like all that stuff. That was the first game that I was like, yep, I'm a Bills fan. Because that was like, that lived up to the hype my dad would tell me about.
31-0, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was the best. So sick.
Incredible. Wow. Who's your dream collab on the Bills?
Ooh. You know, maybe.
And we can go like past or present. Like we can open this thing up.
Okay. One of my dude, I wish the Diggs thing didn't end so poorly, because it would have probably been him. But to do like a video with,
yeah, whatever. Just dream collab. Yeah.
It's got to be Josh, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so
fine.
obvious,
That's fine. No, it's fine. It's all good. And then what would be like a dream brand that you feel like if they gave you a call, you'd be like, no way. Like, this would be sick.
Oh, man. Maybe like, man, let me think real fast. I'm trying to think of a brand I really like.
That doesn't compete with your other brands. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like clothes I wear a lot. Maybe like, I low-key love Converse shoes.
Okay.
Like a Converse collab would be pretty fire.
Converse? You hear? You hear? That'd be sick.
Yeah, I love Converse.
Dude, little Brother Bill collab. What if there was like a Fortnite skin of Brother Bill or just something just totally crazy, bro? That'd be amazing. Last question. What is one word that people would describe Brother Bill?
Hopefully just like fun. I think it's that simple.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, man, before we conclude, I love Brother Bill. I think it's super fun, but I love Hammy. I appreciate you as the person. And I think a lot of times, man, people can be so celebratory of someone's gift that they actually miss on where the gift has come from.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you, and I think you do such a great job, dude. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of In Good Company, where we really do believe that the best parts in business happen in good company. Take care.
Thanks for listening to In Good Company. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more information or to connect with Mike, visit him online at thomasmediagroup.co or on Instagram at Michael L. Thomas. Thanks again for listening, and remember, the best of business happens in good company. We'll see you next time.